Welcome to April's Garage. It is 2025, a whole new year, and apparently I am a full-time YouTuber.
Look at you, you're a YouTuber.
Yes, it has happened. It's official. I am a YouTuber.
Yes, April's Garage, very close to crossing 100,000 subscribers.
Yes.
And it's making a decent little living for you here in Kansas, isn't it?
It's pretty nice, yeah. Do I have to talk like that, though? Is that better?
No, but I mean, yeah, 2024, not quite a six-figure income from this channel, April's Garage, but pretty darn close. I mean, a good living out of making YouTube videos with a weirdo from Kansas and now his car barn.
Weirdo.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're just a little different, right?
Right.
Which is good.
We are very, very lucky. And obviously very lucky because of you all watching these videos that it's possible for April's Garage to exist and do all of this. But I do feel kind of bad for people starting a channel without, you know, the existing platforms that April and I have to do this, because it is really, really hard. And that's what I was thinking about, how the state of YouTube for 2025, how much it's changed just in the last year or two, and how difficult it is to get noticed.
Right. Well, I feel like it always changes, and I hear you guys talking about the algorithm this, and everything's changing. Like every 6 months, there's sort of drastic change to keep the videos longer, keep them shorter, you know, doing more voiceover, less voiceover interviews, and there's always something different. But what I do see a lot with you and your guys' channels is that once you change the format a little bit, the views go down. It really hits it really hard.
You need to stay in your lane, and if you want to do something else, start a different channel, because you just get so punished. So I mean, it's same with TV shows, like the guys that are doing Law and Order and NCIS for 20 years, and they solve a crime, and by the end of the 44 minutes, like every single episode. And if they started, you know, doing something else, is turned into a game show, then people would be ticked off. You know, it makes sense.
Right.
So me buying a crappy car, taking it to the Wizard, and all that stuff, and going through all the tumultuous stuff with it. Obviously,
well, there's a formula.
I keep doing that.
Sure.
When I venture off, and most recently I did that with the track day, and it was my biggest production for Hoovie's Garage ever.
Right.
My biggest edit ever.
Right.
I had a Bugatti Veyron on a track with a new Ford GT, put up against a Prius for a fuel economy challenge. All that stuff did not light the world on fire with views. Like I could have gone and stood in my garage and probably got the same amount of views, you know, just talking about a hoopty and oh my God, it broke, and you know that.
But you could see that you really care and you're passionate about it, and you're not just rinse and repeat. Like your real fans are like, okay, we get it. He's really getting in nitty gritty. Like you want to see the Veyron on the track. That's why you buy a supercar like that, not to just kind of dote on and say, ooh, that's so pretty. I
wanted to do it. I needed the excuse. I had a weird angle where I wanted to recreate something from Top Gear. It was very, very fun. I had, a great time. It was fun editing it together. And now there's this music license site called Licked that exists where you can get mainstream music, and it's $100 to buy, you know, a mainstream song. So everybody was kung fu fighting and all, you know, all these goofy songs that I threw in there. Sailing with Christopher Cross when the Maybach was drifting and everything. A whole new world in YouTube, like having mainstream music, and people were commenting how strange it was. But the bar for production, it's just, not only is it hard to get noticed because it's so saturated right now with content, like everybody's buying the cheapest whatsoever, where I was the only one doing it 8 years ago. So saturated, but also the quality expectations are now darn near TV level.
Right.
And I feel like when I started doing Car Trek 4 or 5 years ago now, we were the first people to do a high quality, not quite Top Gear, but a high quality production like that, sort of a Top Gear-esque. And now everybody's trying their hand at it, and it's sort of a sea of that. And even Freddie mentioned, just recently, he was complaining about a 40-hour edit on his latest video that's going to be over an hour long.
Right.
That basically every single one of his videos is like a car trick in terms of editing and like in terms of like how much he has to put in with voiceover and all that stuff, just to, you know, be seen, to be, you know, be next level above, you know, the rest of the car YouTubers and everybody else.
But is there a little bit of yourself putting it in there now? You're growing and you have, you know, millions of followers, and you want it to be, you feel like you're being held accountable for all these subscribers, so you put more time into it. Is that play into your long edits?
Well, you want to keep
big production?
You want to keep, you know, improving, keep getting better, but also YouTube changing their metrics to where clickbait, you know, used to be a big thing where the video had nothing to do with what the title and description were. Like, and then people would click on it and it was getting tons of views, but if nobody was watching it, then obviously it was clickbait.
Well, like for this video, it'd be like you in a bikini and saying, you know, Tyler's new outfit, and then it has nothing to do with that, but it's clickbait. And
exactly.
That's kind of throttled down a lot of channels.
I hated to do it, but the track day with my Bugatti, I had them all set up on the track. It looked like a really pretty professional shot with me in the thumbnail and sort of relating to what we did. It was not doing well. It was like a hard 10 out of 10 on the bottom, terrible. I changed it to me sort of this face palming in my garage with the Bugatti, and I actually wrote, because the car was so dirty, "You suck" on the back of it, to where people could vaguely see that on the back fender. And I changed the title to "I did something with my Bugatti Veyron that everybody else was terrified to do that owns one," or not quite that wordy, but basically something like that, to where it's vague and you don't know what's going on in the video, and it just to get people to click to watch the video, because I knew when they clicked it and watched it, they'd like it. And YouTube did notice that and did show that there was a lower watch time and all that stuff. So like, if you do that every single time, eventually you will torpedo yourself.
Right.
But every once in a while, you can throw a clickbait bomb to get a video back up. So, but also talking about keeping your lane, Doug DeMuro sort of did his own car trick with his crew and everybody else, and it was really fun. They went to a dry like bed, bought some cheap hoopties and things. And the first video did great, but then the next two, where it was showing cars on the track, not his usual didn't do as well. And I'm wondering if it's because it's punished because his audience wasn't used to seeing something like that. So.
Right, and it's new and exciting when it first comes out, but then it's not kind of your regular formula, not your equation, and so it's not doing as well, which I feel like can happen a lot with all the YouTubers out there.
Right. So the other big change with all this big scale and big scope, it means big money, a lot of money put into cars, because you can't be a 25-year-old buying a Lamborghini Gallardo or a Huracan to get noticed anymore. Yeah, I mean, obviously the projects have to be bigger, crazier, more nuts.
You just set it on fire.
Absolutely impossible. Yeah, on fire, sink, to the bottom of the ocean in a flood. Like to get noticed, it has to be an insane car that's impossible to fix, that is like destroyed beyond recognition if it's a project car to really get noticed, or something that sat for 100 years and then the thumbnail's just covered in like. It has to be crazy, totally epic, and it has to be set up in the first 30 seconds. I bought this, and it has this, and we need to fix this. The Mr. Beastification of YouTube is here. It is forever.
Well, which he's recently, well, not recently, but has translated really well on the television, streaming, which is still kind of internet. That's a vague line, but he's broken through big time, where I know a lot of YouTubers will kind of try to translate into movies or television, and it doesn't work as well because you have your built-in audience on YouTube.
Are you talking about me?
No, you are a miracle that has crossed over to television.
Oh,
but like you're saying, it's hard to break through. But I know Rick DeBrule, who we work with on Barrett Jackson, who's kind of the main announcer narrator, has started his own channel. Not a big production. No. And I love his videos. They do fantastic. We just saw the Tucker video. I already learned a lot. I know all about the Tucker, okay?
Right.
I learned more from Rick's video. He's in depth, and I feel like that's what YouTube is about, because he's still doing well. He's got maybe 4,000 subscribers, and
every
he's doing
one of his
great.
videos are beating his subscriber count, which is huge. But that is like a monumental brain, like him and Mignante, and the knowledge they have in there, to where they can go. And because they're also professionals for 30 years, they're able to talk for 20 minutes without a cut, basically.
That's true.
In the video. But what I was talking about, these huge scales of production, with some exceptions with our friends, but means you need more money to do it. And what we're also seeing is a huge increase in sponsors coming to creators, and sponsor companies brokering deals. And some of these people giving money to creators to endorse them not being good. So the Honey is the latest one that was a crazy blow up. So basically it's a browser, an extension you put in your browser, to where it shows you the best deal, the best discount code on anything you buy at checkout automatically. It's proven to be a bit of a scam. It seems like it's checking the ones where Honey will make the most money, not the discount codes that will give you the most. And also taking away the commissions that YouTubers would make. So use my affiliate code to get this, and they click on the link, but then at the end, Honey will rip it away from that creator and always give it to them. It's owned by PayPal. And that way, another way YouTubers make money on commissions with affiliates and things, gets zapped away by this multi-billion-dollar company. It's just got exposed. It's been a big deal. Everybody has done a honey promotion.
Have you?
Except for me. And that's just because I forgot to reply to the email. Like it was there. Like I was like, wait, I think I had honey email. And I went and looked up it. Sure enough, it was there. I could have done it 2 years ago.
Right.
And Dummy was too busy and didn't reply to the email. And I could have gotten some honey money.
Right.
But one that I did do that sort of got exposed was the established titles, which basically this company was selling land in the Scottish Highlands, and then you would become like a lord and lady of Scotland or whatever.
I saw that. It's like when you buy a star, and it's like you buy like star number 473, whatever, but it really doesn't mean anything.
Obviously, you don't actually become a lord or a lady, and it's not like you own this 1 square foot of land forever. It is a gag gift to give somebody to have a plaque on their wall and all that stuff. But somebody went through and made a video exposing it, scam and like where the money was going and all that stuff. And I mean, it's a little but obvious gag gift. It's not like it was ripping money away from other people or it wasn't shady in that sense.
Sure.
But I did get caught up in that one, I suppose. And I'm sorry that if anybody who bought that for the relative thinking they were actually making them a Scottish nobleman. It wasn't, yeah.
It wasn't, no.
Now, it would be nice if more, mainstream normal ads came through to creators to where they could advertise.
Right.
And, directly to the creator and not, through buying Google ads or whatever, and there's a revenue split there. This is a little bit inside baseball. But these companies, they're huge and these big bureaucracies, and I think it's almost gotten worse in recent years as far as advertising with YouTubers, and none of these big companies want to accidentally Bud Light themselves.
True. And then if they attach themselves to you or someone and then you do something cancelable, they'll get tied to it.
They'll get tied to it. It'll be a big national news break.
Is cancelable a word?
I don't know. But so it's much safer to just buy the generic YouTube ads and then target it towards the particular audience and all that stuff rather than like hitching your wagon to a guy in his garage who, could be, killing people in his, backyard and burying them. And then it gets exposed like, oh, we're officially endorsed by a serial killer, yeah.
Well, you can't just say that. I feel like it would make sense, though.
I think you're the first supermodel about to Kansas.
Stop it. Soon it's just going to be Tyler's garage.
No, not really.
Okay, so where do you think YouTube is going to go from here? Like someone trying to break in right now, because I feel like it's so hard to kind of get your name out there.
It's going to be, without attaching yourself to somebody else.
Right.
As far as, riding on their coattails up like I did with Doug DeMuro.
Well, I basically did that with you, I feel like, on YouTube.
You were already established on your own. You have plenty of things on YouTube, as we saw in your How We Met video.
Right.
So you have a long social media history. It's going to be really tough. And I'm worried that YouTube, which used to be sort of a goofy place to go and just see, weird cat videos and just people doing odd things, it's going to be all this crazy high-level production, and all the big videos are going to be basically like TV or movie scale stuff. The normal guys in their room, in their garage, just creating content are just like, they're going to get overlooked, and there's no way they can compete with these giant machines. I mean, these basically networks now that are creating content for YouTube.
Well, there are networks that are looking at casting directors to find actors to then study and talk about cars, not real car guys. And so that's what I'm nervous is there's an authenticity with YouTube that might go away.
There's an
in
idea.
The future.
Like I could cast, Brad Pitt to be me, and then I don't have to make the videos or whatever. I think it's a little expensive, but I could hire some.
That'd be worth it.
Yeah.
We should try that.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching.